is aimed at strengthening security and ensuring stability in the Middle East. Next up is Jordan. Jordan receives $1.1 billion in economic assistance and $470 million in military aid. Then we have Israel. Israel receives nearly $4 billion annually, which includes $3.3 billion for military financing and $500 million for missile defense programs. This aid is mostly allocated under the Foreign Military Financing Program, which allows Israel to purchase U.S. military equipment and services. Also, since October 7th, Biden administration requested an additional $14.3 billion for arms to Israel, in addition to the annual $3.8 billion in military aid. At last, we have Ukraine. Ukraine receives $16.6 billion as economic aid from U.S. separate from the economic aid package. The U.S. has also provided Ukraine with another $1.6 billion in security assistance. These are the countries.
Wow. So if you look at all these numbers, it just don't make no sense. Like, imagine if there was actually pouring that money in our country. We wouldn't have all this inflation that they created, and people wouldn't be in the situation that we're pretty much in. Now, all this money is coming from us that we got to belt out with our daily lives. No wonder Americans is always stressed out, and we're always unhappy when we're living here, especially in states like New York, LA, and other parts of America. They're breaking our backs to take care of everybody else except for their people. If we need something, we got to fight tooth and nail in order for us to get it. We are not happy as Americans because all this money we got to pay billions and billions of dollars to help all these countries, and they all have one thing in common. And it doesn't matter what party is in office, this will also continue. If you notice, they provide money and arms. So if you look on the stock market, arms is always going to be a lucrative business to be in because America have the arms. They have to buy that from them, and those people get rich. And we got to break our asses in order for us to pay all this money to all these different countries, and they all have one thing in common. Go figure. If you notice, it's Palestine, Jordan, and these numbers are, we're not talking millions, we're talking billions. They come up with all these different things to screw us here in America. They come up with congestion fee that we have to pay. They come up with high taxes that we have to pay, and we have to pay end of year taxes again. So we're paying taxes on our paycheck here when we first get paid, and we got to pay end of year taxes. And then the government come with his foolishness saying, oh, we'll do student loan forgiveness, but the little money that they're gonna forgive us for, they're handing out billions to other countries. You know what I'm saying? So and then we have immigrants that came here in the country that they said is alleged criminals and shit like that, and we have to pay for those people. So make it make sense with all these numbers that's on the board here. Billions, not millions, billions. Imagine if we was getting that. Americans just being here are not happy because all this money we got to pay, taxes, inflation on food, on just cost of living and all this other extra stuff. And the government is just acting like, yo, we don't exist. So we have to pay for other countries to live well while we stay here in America and suffer because all of this pressure that's added to us. Just ask the average American, are you happy being here? They're probably going to say no. Ask a New Yorker, ask somebody that's even from California. They're going to say they're probably not happy because we have to pay for people's happiness and we're not happy. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to pay all this motherfucking money out for Jordan. We got to pay money for Israel, Palestine, Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? All this money we got to pay out because we have to pay them highest taxes in order for other countries to be aided and be happy. So can you imagine? The government is not taking care of home. They're taking care of every other country, and Americans got to feel the pain of that because they're living off our fat. They're living off our success. So make this shit make sense. Make it make sense. Would you be happy if you live in here? Of course not. You would have to think for yourself, I need to get the hell out of this country because you can't have anything. And if you have a business, you don't get no kind of insurance or anything of the sort. The government is going to kill you with insurance.